Oh, Chance the Rapper. So good. Is there anything better? No. There probably is, but man, he's killing it. Let's pick some music real quick. I have 2000s boy bands playlist, which is feels like a Tuesday, right? Feels like a Tuesday afternoon. We'll just play it low in the background. What's up? What's up, everybody? It's been a while. Hey, Ronan, welcome. My webcam stream at the bottom there is like itty bitty. I've been using the face filter for a while, and just the real cam does it. It's like tiny. Here, is that better? Little bigger. It used to fill the box perfectly, but I think I deleted it and redid it. Oh well. All right, we're back. I think what we're gonna do today is look at all this dark green. Oh, all that is done. I spent some of the morning doing some more spacing, so we filled out some more lowercase spacing. I did all the numbers, and I don't know how you space superscripts and subscripts. So I just gave them 15 spacing or side bearing. So who knows if that'll work. I started to space some of the punctuation, which will be quick, and then I have no idea how to space any of this stuff. We'll probably just base it all off of our other characters, right? Like the left side bearing will be a lowercase v, the right side bearing will be a capital V. This guy, oh gosh, it's got to be an X and an E. So we'll just make it up. But overall, I mean, unfortunately, we had to spend a lot of time doing this side bearing stuff, because that's what type design is all about, the joys. What people don't know is that 90% of the time is spent checking your weight and spacing and side bearings and kernings and all that stuff. That's why they look so good, or what makes them look good. I really had this idea, like this hope and dream, to start on some italics, and I had done that earlier in Harvell's life. Here with a N, there with a W, which I was really pumped about. It took ages. I think I spent like a 2-hour stream just trying to get something that wasn't horribly painful in this little bit here. But because it's a variable font, you can't have the italic file and the regular file need to be the same one, which I found out after I had auto slanted all these things. But look, this is where we were in June 6th. We just slanted all this stuff. So I had hoped to do this stuff today, but then remembered that I just need to finish it here first. And after I finish it here, then we can do italics. So, you're gonna get to watch me input data, which means that I'm 100% open for questions and let's talk, because the data entry stuff is just obnoxious. So we start off with a teaser. Have you guys seen Grilly Type's new Flexa? Oh, it's a good looking font. It's a little weird, a little wonky. You can tell they share a studio space with Dynamo, because I don't think it originally had ink traps, but let's start at the top. Come on. GT Flexa by Grilly Type. A beautiful sans serif with an ink trap version? Is the whole thing ink trapped? Maybe it is. Look at this. I didn't think the whole thing was ink trapped. I thought there was an ink trapped version. But these weights, so here's the benefit of doing a variable font, and here's what they probably did. So normally you'd have to draw all 1,000 characters in each of these weights, right? So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 widths by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weights. So you would have to draw the alphabet and all of your characters 49 times, which is horrible. But they did it as a variable font, which means that they probably drew it here and here and there, and then here, here, and here, and there, oh, right there, and right there. They probably only drew it 9 times, and then let their variable axis do all the interpolation between weights, which is just amazing. Yeah, that's why these guys are full-time type designers, and I'm not, because I would think I would go mad. But a variable font lets you do it far, far fewer, right? And then it would have been the same with this. Like, they would have had to draw their their typeface so many times. But I think they, like I said, I think they're without it. So they did a mono version, which I always think is really funny. I think that's gonna be, that needs to be on the docket, is a monospace typeface. It does save a ton of time, Ronan. It saves a ton of time, but I mean, these characters are really beautiful. There are some moments that are kind of quirky, but I love the ink traps and like the W's and stuff, like that little pit all the way down there. I think AKA Dope was talking about it on one of his streams, that they're not really, we don't really need ink traps the way that we used to need ink traps, right? Like, we used to need them because the lead blocks would basically get dull over time, but we don't print with lead blocks anymore, so they're now just a style that people get to add. But man, that's a lot. Oh, look at the sterling with the little upturn in its foot. That's nice. A little bloop. And the apple. Look at the apple icon. Oh, that's funny. I suppose we could come up with some meme to put into our apple instead, huh? I love circled numbers. I should have them in mine. Maybe I'll put them in Kaylee and not Harvo. Harvo doesn't really have, you know, clear numbers necessarily. I love the arrows. These are nice. The circle ones are nice. I've got some of those. Let's see, what do we have? Yeah, we don't have any corners or anything. I tend to think that the corner arrows are not, like, I don't know why you would use a corner arrow. I think just that, like, this is just as clear. The diagonals are just as clear in wayfinding as the corner ones. Some alternates. Look at that T. This little trick they're pulling here. 2 tricks. One, it has a slanted top so that it's more easily distinguishable from other characters. Maybe their L might do it too, I'm not sure. We'll go look. But then they're filling a ton of that negative space under the T with that little foot there. So it's easier to space that. It has a different optical rhythm to it. Let's see, where is there? HIJK. Oh, too far. No, so they have square tops on their L's. some characters like Interstate, the one that you see on the signs in all the United States, and quite a few other countries too, will have a slash on the L because so it makes it easier to read, easier to distinguish. So like this T here has a top slash on it instead, which it's, look at that, that's a beautiful little moment there. So fun. Okay, I think that's probably enough fangirling. Look at how aggressive this is. Wow. It's really lovely here. Look at that. Wow. Alright. Is that enough fangirling? We've fangirled over GT Flexa enough. Oh, look at this. It looks like a medical illustration. Like we're gonna... This is like what scientists are looking at as they're trying to come up with a vaccine for COVID-19. I really didn't think Flexa was gonna have as prominent ink traps as it does. Like it's way more subtle. I mean, it's obviously more subtle than the light characters. But man, they went for it on the big ones. They really went for it. Oh yeah, this one's nice. They probably have a landing site too. I'm just in the PDF specimen. They build really beautiful landing sites for their typefaces, where I don't think many of their counterparts do. There's mono weight. Okay. Okay. This is the type of motivation, inspiration I need. You look at this and be like, wow, that's amazing. And that's what we're gonna do with Harvo. We're gonna put out a PDF like that, and somebody's gonna scroll through it on their stream and go, wow, this is amazing. So, let's pull up our spacing calculator, which I've been working with all day. And we'll have to go through some of our alternates here, which will be breeze, and then figure out how in the world to space fractions. What kind of side bearings fractions need. And then we'll grind through some of this punctuation, and also how in the world do you space gender symbols. I saw these in somebody else's font and was like, you know what, that's really cool that you have a gender symbol in a font, or as an icon at least. And turns out they have them, so I put them in. But that's it. That's all we got to do. That's what we're gonna do today. So strap in for some more 2000s boy bands, low background music. Please ask me questions, even if it's not related about what's happening on the screen, because otherwise I'm just going to be muttering numbers lowly and incoherently along the way. Here we go. When I respaced, when I added some more side bearings to some of these letter forms, they're like applied to the character but not to like both things. So like this moved but that didn't move. So we just have to recenter some of these. Like this guy. Or what is he doing over here? He looks pretty good. Sure. That's not bad either. So I don't actually have to add any new side bearings to these Ys because it's thankfully picking it up from the normal Y. Like this is a component, so I think it's automatically bringing that in. That's why it says auto here instead of something else. Which if I wanted to space differently, I think we could. You just have to like break that link a little bit. And the first time that I did this, I really only had, I would do it with this view that was only one, which is really nice for doing one. But since I've done these, I've added a bunch of these other instances, and it's really helpful to see them all at once. Of the classics, what's your favorite font? Classics. What do you mean by classics? Are we talking like pre-1900s? Or we're talking about like 1920 to 2000? That's a lot of fonts. Let's see. The one that came to my head right away was Universe. I really love Universe. I think it has, this is too much. Universe came out in what, 56? And I think Helvetica a year after. So Universe was just a little bit ahead. Pretty much the equivalent now is like White Ink Trap and GT Flexa now, right? Like Ink Trap came out last year, GT Flexa came out this year. The guys share studio spaces. Like they're just all checking it out. Verdana is your fave? That's a good one. It is a classic. Otherwise I'd have to say something like Garamond. You know, if we're going real old school, if we're going back to the real roots of typography, it's gotta be Garamond. Did that one have, let's see, yeah, it's all auto. 109? That doesn't seem right. Definitely not right, okay. Between 1910 and 1950. Oh. Between 1910 and 1950, what's your favorite font? Man, this is like a quiz. If I know the time frame of those. So then I can't pick Universe because it was 56, right? You'd have to pick Futura. Like I don't know what other typefaces came out in 1920s, 30s. I guess Helvetica didn't come out in 57, right? It had to have come out before that. I don't know. Yeah. Serif-wise, we're going classics. It's gotta be Garamond. It's like so lovingly warm. I think compared to, like when we look at, especially with the rise of like vectorization, it's so easy to design typefaces that are like really straight and rigid. And so Garamond, like there's so many subtleties in Garamond that it's just become really wonderful, almost nostalgic. So it's nice to find typefaces these days that are as warm as Garamond was. Oh, that was a capital Z. Whoops. 34, 31. Universe is okay. What kind of blasphemy is that? 33? Sure. And modern is going to be have to make this small again so I can scroll all the way over there without selecting the screen. You have some type templates. What kind of type templates? What does it mean to have a type template? I have the Bauhaus templates and the Super Trio. Oh. Well, that's cool. You should just stream that. Let's see, 20, is this -7? Oh boy. Man, this is like, I have to have a lot of trust with this stupid thing. So it'd be 58, and what are we looking at? -98. Oh. Okay, it's gonna work, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. So it's 20 and minus 7 again. 61 and minus 100. No, minus 100. There's no way, right? That's, yeah, way too much. Oh yeah. What's up, Dope? AKA Dope. I don't know what to say on stream, and I feel like if I just say Dope, then I'm like sort of bragging about my own typeface, which I don't think is quite right. Let's just make this. Let's make it 0. What if it's 0? Is that better? Yeah, let's just make that 0 instead of minus 100. Okay, so that should be our alternate F. And then I think, guys, I don't know if I'm gonna keep our curly Q. Can I put up a poll on stream to vote whether or not to keep curly Q here? This guy? It feels like it's gotta go. I'll put it up. Chat debate on which Q should be used here in this typeface. Normal Nancy or curly Q? This is normal Nancy. That's curly Q. Why space curly Q? 41, 34. 46, yeah. 76, okay. 46, nope. And this one needs to be 42. Oh, Susie, welcome back. Feels like forever. It does. It's been like 3 weeks. It's been at least 3 weeks. When creating this typeface, do I have an idea as to what I hope it would be used for? Man, dope. I can tell that you're a designer and you like think these things. You think these things like when you're doing stuff. I can hear. I saw a meme today that said it was like retrospectively looking at some typeface that a type designer had done, and they were realizing it was really bad, and the excuse that they were giving was that it was an experimental typeface. So I would say that I don't ever start these. I don't have any idea of where this typeface would be used. Maybe like the masthead of an up-and-coming fashion magazine in Europe. I think that would be a really good place for it. But I would say I'm not really. I don't feel qualified to design like really functional typefaces. I think there are people like much better equipped, better educated to design really hard-working typefaces. So I actually started to design some of these typefaces more out of a frustration of like visual difference in the industry. Like if we use GT Flexa as example now, right? Like Grilly Type, they do a killer job. They've got thousands of followers. And you know, they sort of what they do is people follow, and Dynamo are the same way. A lot of type designers are looking at Dynamo and, you know, sort of emulating what Dynamo are doing. But I don't think that, you know, I don't think they're using the platforms they have as well as they could. And so my type is meant to fill a space that's more speculative and pushes some of the boundaries a little bit more. White ink trap, yeah, that's what I want. Here we go. So here's white ink trap. White ink trap light. And here is, where is it? Grilly Type. There's Grilly Types. Here, can I change this text? What was it? Box jumps. Can't type in it. Box jumps. So, I mean, these guys are doing the same thing, right? Like, these are just the same. They're sort of regurgitating what's going on. There it is, right there, in that weight. They're a little different, but Dynamo finds a bunch of success in selling this typeface, and I think Grilly Type does the same thing. And I think a consequence of probably, I don't want to say capitalism, but a consequence of like trying to make a living selling typefaces is that they have to make typefaces that sell, that people want to buy, right? And I don't know if it's always the role of it has to be our role as designers at some point to push the industry further and faster, stronger, better. And I just didn't see anybody filling that, and so I'm trying to be more speculative, right? Like a typeface whose axis changes in contrast rather than changing in like weight or width, right? Because that's what the GT Flexa one does. That's what all usable variable fonts do, is they change width. But you can change anything, right? If you can design a point A and you can design a point B, then you can change anything in between there. And I think that there's a lot of room to do something really, really interesting that nobody's really taken up yet. So the use. let's just deal with that question. Let's see if I can get back to that one. When creating a typeface, do I have any idea what I hope it will be used for? The use for me is in speculative, like graduate school caliber projects, where students are pushing the boundaries of type. You know, it's not going to be used by Forbes. It's not going to be used by Microsoft. And that's a luxury of like teaching and doing this, is that, you know, when you look at like all the super famous, all the designers that we ever read about in school, when you're reading about Paul Rand or Paula Scher or even now Michael Beirut or David Carson and thousands more, they all teach. And a requirement of a lot of universities to like hold your teaching status is to be doing research. And so technically this counts. I have managed to make this count as research. Yeah, Susie, we're listening to All American Rejects. Is it? Is that who it is? God, I can't remember. Yeah, it's early 2000s boy band day, because I haven't made any new playlists in weeks. So we're back. Alright, lowercase z. 6, 3. Susie, I need to show you the proofing doc. I'm gonna show you the results basically of what this, what our spacing calculator has finally done. Because it is gorgeous. All I did while in the car on my vacation, all the road tripping I did, was data entry. Oh, beautiful. Oh, was that it? Was that it? Guys, that's all the lowercase. That's... We're getting so close. You get car sick reading or working on a laptop? My sister does too, which is a bummer. Alright, let's look at that proofing doc. Do I have it in here? Harvo proof. Just for you, Susie. You've been here the whole time. For months and months. Is it up? No? Is it down? Oh, it's down. So we added some instances as weights. You commenting whoa and then lol after it, it makes it feel like a very sarcastic. You weren't interested in it at all. Like, that's what happens when I show my wife design stuff. I'm like, oh, look at this. And she just like now knows. She's like, oh, wow. No matter what it is. I could be like showing her the worst design in the world. She goes, wow. AKA dope, I agree with you. It is nice. I think it would be horrible to like have, it'd be a bummer if you had like this grand idea of what your typeface would be used for and people use it completely opposite. Like, can you imagine designing impact? You're like, you know what, I want people to use my typeface for advertising. And then like years later, it's the only typeface that people use on memes. You're like, you've literally become the butt of the joke every time. God, that would be the worst. Yeah, the color that those blocks are nice, aren't they? They're feeling good. They're feeling real clean. And it is. I don't think I really. Yeah, I can say this is speculative work all day long, and people be like, "Yeah, you design normal stuff," but this one isn't. Harvo is probably the one that comes closest to being a typeface that just looks good. And I, I don't think I even get to say if it looks good or not. Although I did just get an email for Communication Arts. They're accepting submissions for their typography category, so we could pay $100 to enter it. I don't think I'll enter Harvo. Where am I? Let's see. You eating Teddy Grahams?
Mm-hmm.
Jelly.
Mama.
Have gum. I feel like I can't give up gum for Teddy Grahams.
Eric and Ruth's wedding was in the wedding mag, right?
Yeah. Did you say it wrong?
She tagged the wrong one.
Oh. This one 40, 43, and 32. Was right. Yeah, those look pretty good. Let's just do this one. $18 over here. $20, probably $19. Let's see, our grotesque, $31.30. $31.30. Oh, Susie, you gotta follow this guy in chat, aka Dope. He's been designing. He does really beautiful, more like single letter or monogram or like short words or phrases. They're gorgeous. And he just started streaming it, so you gotta check his stuff out because it's worth the Twitch view and more. Really 5? No. Hello? AKA Dope is dope, yeah. It's right there in the name. It's right there. It's a great name. You could do anything. Not even have to like do just letters. You could design. You don't even have to design. You'd like be a basketball player. Is it 64 side for a lowercase u? 64 and 70. You're back? Ronan, welcome back. You haven't missed much. We've just spaced some more things. Currently spacing a mu. Whoops. Glyphs. Alright, so that's... Why is it negative? Where is it? 48, 45? Although you're into Arabic calligraphy, I am following him just for his sheer talent. No, seriously.
I just got like a really soggy teddy bear. I'm like, was there water in the bottom of this cup? It was like soft.
It's like a band name. Soggy Teddy Grahams.
Seriously, I'm like,
A
what
bad
happened?
band name.
What happened?
Why are my Teddy Grahams soggy? I don't know, that's gross. That's gross. Okay, modern you. Modern you. 6875. I agree with AK Dope. I think there's a huge market for graphic design on Twitch. I think there's like huge potential in it. One, that you can like, we can talk all the time, right? You can like actually converse with your audience or with the designer that you're like interested in speaking to. And two, because it builds such a wonderful community, right? Like we can like point each other all over the place and say, hey, go look at these guys and go look at that guy. Did I do this one? 45, 75, 70? Yeah, sure. And it's also nice that you get to see other people's process, right? I think after, please tell you more about the spreadsheet I'm referring to.
Oh, was it your nerdy spacing
Yeah,
spreadsheet?
he, they asked for it.
Dude. He's been working on this like non-stop, and every time I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, this spreadsheet. I don't. Please enlighten us.
Okay, you asked for it.
I didn't
Huh.
really.
They asked for it.
But
I know, I'd love to tell you about it. Here we go. I applied to speak at a conference about this stupid spreadsheet.
this awesome spreadsheet.
This awesome spreadsheet. This amazing spreadsheet that someday I'm going to offer as a free download to some people. But it's not, it still needs a little bit of love. Okay, so this is the spacing calculator. There it is. So aptly named, Akimbo spacing calculator. What it is that it gives us the side bearing on letter forms. It should be super easy where you plug in. We'll start with sans serif, right? So sans serif spacing calculator. Oh gosh, it gets bigger. It goes deep. Okay. Basically, you should be able to add side bearing on your letter forms based off of how wide the negative space in those letter forms are. So if you have, like, let's use GT Flexa as the example, right? So, like the M here has this pretty wide gap in it, and the space between the U and the M is pretty wide, right? Let's go like to the top. Oh, no, that's a good one. Go back to kick. In this word, for example, the counter space in these letter forms is really narrow, and the space between letters is really narrow. So the side bearing gets smaller. So it's a really simple, like, function of proportion, right? If your inner space equals x, then through some maths you can get to your side bearings of each side. And there's this book called Design Type. Ooh, I can hold it up today because I have the cam on. Here it is. Ronan, you were asking for it yesterday. This book, Design Type, it's really wonderful. You should all buy it. support Karen Chang. She killed it. Here, actually, I do it like that. This whole book is about design typefaces. It's an amazing book. And the last, but it only has, what is it? It's like 220 pages, and it only has 3 pages on spacing, which is really only one spread on spacing. And so there's supposed to be a certain ratio, and I did their calculations and stuff. And it's these horrible instructions here, so it's like, there's like an illustration of like an H with a 1 on one side and a 1 on the other side. There's like an O with a number on each side, and they give you these instructions. It's like, there's only 6 steps to spacing your, only 5 steps. And they're super vague. So this calculator, what I did in this massive spreadsheet is I opened up some fonts that I had in glyphs. So let's say, for example, this sans serif. Open up Roboto, Open Sans, GT America, White, Dia, and Noto Sans. So there's a couple workhorses in there, there's a couple contemporary ones. And I just input what their side bearing was for all these letter forms, so you can see, like, these guys, Dia, the guys who designed Dia, I think it's Shiktoika, are obviously using some formula because all their numbers are like nice and round, really whole numbers. And then other foundries, you know, Dynamo's doing the same thing. You can see it's like a super round number. It's repeated a whole bunch. But then some of the workhorses are like all different and all over the place. So it takes all these, and it takes the H inner space for the uppercase, the N inner space for the lowercase, and it turns those into a percentage of the inner space. So like, my wife is laughing at me over
I'm
here.
I'm laughing because I left the room and came back and you're still trying to explain what it does.
It's so big. Okay. So it's like the left side bearing of the A is 23.1% of the inner space of the lowercase n, right? And the right side bearing of the A is 9.3% of the inner side bearing of the n, right? Madness. So all of these have different proportions because they work differently. So it's like 16%, 23%, 16.9, 11, whatever. I did all these, then I averaged the percentages. So I averaged the proportion that those were, right? So in theory, you can take, yeah, well, it's a spreadsheet. It's really precise. It's easy to be precise with a spreadsheet. You just say, you answer, if you can do the math problem, you don't have to worry about rounding or anything. So it's like, now I have this average percent for the sans serif. So like when I spaced Kaylee, I did it real quick. All you have to do is input, here's the real one. So all you have to do is input the capital H space and the lowercase n inner space, and it kicks out the side bearings. It does all of it. At least it does all uppercase, lowercase. It does numbers 0 through 9, and then like the first bits of punctuation. So it's easy for a sans serif. It's harder for a serif because you have to take into account the serifs. So there's like an extra step, which is subtracting the serif width and then making a percentage and then adding the serif width back in, and I think that's off because there needs to be a function of like inner ratio to like the percentage, because some of these serifs are like much wider than they are in like Harvo, for example, and so my calculations are really tough. But that's it. So then in Harvo, take the percent averages. if I change this, so it's 342 in all these, right? If I change this to like 700, all these numbers here will change. Oh, and now they all change, right? And I would know what to space those at. If I change them to 1500, all these numbers, all these uppercase numbers will change again. Bam. So that's the crazy spreadsheet that I'm working with, and that is I don't know, my madness that's taken over. Yeah, great question. I need to like record that answer. I need to record an explanation of it, so I can just give you guys a link and not spend 15 minutes of every stream talking about it. I love to talk about it, don't get me wrong. I just feel kind of bad for the people who have already listened to it. So then in all these other cases, right, like if I'm going to space, like the delta, for example, like it's super similar to sans serif capital A, right? So I'm just going to use the capital A as space, let's say 10 aside, and then 10 aside because it's just another grotesque, right? And I'm pulling that from Harvo grotesque, which matches up with my layers over here and my masters and all that stuff, right? And so far it's worked pretty well. I've only used it on Harvo and I used it on Kaylee, and I was really happy when I used it on Kaylee. Kaylee, I don't know how to say it. Yes, if you know how to script, please, let's get together. I've had a number of people ask if it could be a plugin, and I think it would be amazing if you were like, if you had a plugin where you only had to enter inner H space and inner N space, and then it would just auto-populate. And then we could sell it, and we could be millionaires together. Because I'm sure that millions of people, thousands of people would buy a spacing calculator plugin, right? Oh, Susie, somebody else asked, and they were like, oh, you should turn it into a plugin. And then they just like sent me a bunch of links about how to code JavaScript, which I've never been a coder. Yeah, no, it's not the first time that somebody has wanted to help with this and glyphs. You're not sure if you could do that type of programming in Python? I'm not sure. It'd be a better shot than I'd have at it. So like, if I'm gonna add this to the $, like it's just an easy percentage, like it's a percentage entry, right? 42, 48, easy. It's the same as the capital S. $41, $43. Let's see, 42, 48. Get in touch with George or Eric. Are they the guys who developed glyphs? It's like this one. It's probably like a C, right? On this side, and then probably like a lowercase f on this side because it has back bars, right? So then I can just match these two together and say that the grotesque is 39 here and 20 over here. at 61 here? That seems massive. George is the lead developer of Glyphs. You throw his name around like you know him. Do you know him? Just like, no big deal, give him a call. I think he's helped me on some stuff in the past. A super nerd and a great person. Sounds great. It's in the wheelhouse. When I first started streaming, I helped them troubleshoot a bunch of this stuff because turns out they didn't anticipate people streaming while using glyphs. And so it took us a long time to figure out that Glyphs really hates streaming, and if you're using Google File Stream, which I use. You met him in Dubai at one of the workshops? Okay, you're going to Dubai for a workshop on Glyphs. You I think you gotta be further into Glyphs than I am. Let's see. Modern. We're doing Z. 38. We're gonna do E. 50. $25.73. I think my 73 might be a bit high. Check out Arabic Type on Instagram. Okay, I will. Is that you or is that somebody else? Oh, guys, we're getting so close. Okay, let's do some of this punctuation. The ellipse. Ellipsis. Ellipsi. It's going to be 58, 59. And here, 67 and 62. Perfect. Just an evenly spaced line of dots. That's your type design account? Cool. If you ever want to convert a Latin script to Arabic, I've got one for you. Oh. 53, 52, and 67, 7, 74. Perfect. What was it? 67? Yeah, no problem about the details of the spreadsheet. It's not something that's like yeah, it took me a couple days to do it, but I think anybody could do it. If they've got glyphs and a couple typefaces, like half the typefaces I used were free and open source, and the other couple I used were just, I own a couple, so I like bought the rights to a couple of them, and then one of them was just a trial font, so it's not like, it's just the headache. I think it'll be one of those things that I'd like to put on a website and be like, download this for free, and then have like a tip jar kind of a thing. Oh my, what is this one? 19 and 24. Oh, I think the applications for the place that I submitted to give a digital talk about it are like ending in an hour or a couple hours. So if you want to talk at a design conference, I think it's Type Weekend. Check out Type Weekend while there's still time. What?
All my programs hate me.
What program hates you now?
Webflow.
Webflow hates you. I love Webflow.
And it doesn't love me.
What's wrong with Webflow?
Won't let me drag a thumbnail image.
What does it say?
Upload failed. There's a problem signing the asset.
Can you just save it and refresh the browser? How big is the image?
It's a web image from the blog. So, not that big.
Oh, I don't know.
Let's try that one. Oh, no, that one doesn't work either.
It doesn't like any of them.
Nope.
Oh my. Alright.
It's alright.
I'll sort it out. Post off camera.
Here, I'll screenshot the image and try that. It's just a thumbnail, right?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be. It's like 70 pixels wide or something on an iPhone. Does anybody in chat use Webflow?
Oh, that worked. What the hell?
What do you guys build your websites on? Do you have a website? Let's start
Hopefully not WordPress.
We've had our last straw with WordPress.
Seriously.
Bullet done. Do I have parentheses on here? I don't. Oh, let's just. What other characters do I have in here? I do have a dollar sign. I don't know why I just swiped it from the S. I can make this one. Just make this one equal to question mark. Our Interrobang, which is nobody uses but designers love. Who are we selling them to? Designers. Okay, we do have this. We do have the number sign. The Octothorpe, aka the hashtag. How's that? Beautiful. Make this one equal to question. Beautiful. It's an alternate question mark. And then really I don't know how to space these. People were laughing at my playlist. My throwback playlist.
Why? Because this is music you listened to in middle school?
Yeah.
I mean, if they've ever been on for like the Westerns playlist, they shouldn't be surprised.
I know. You just have to listen to a lot of music Just a lot of music.
I feel like I listen to.
What do you listen to, BD?
I listen to like maybe 3-4 hours of music a week. Maybe like 8 if I edit a wedding or something.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure you listen to like 10 hours of music a day.
Yeah. That's probably right. How do you space a floor in? And a quote, right? Let's just do it like the comma, huh? Is it 58? 59? Whoops. No. 67. 62. This one is 58. 59. And then this one we can just do this, right? Oh boy. And refresh that. Oh, beautiful. So we don't have to enter it all manually. Here we go. Okay, and then let's see, if we do this, we just say that this is what's halfway between 58 and 67?
What?
64?
Sure.
63? Sure.
Whatever you want.
Quote left. It's gonna be sort of opposite, right? So 37 here, 53 there, and 44, 55. So we just flip the comma spacing there. And we'll append this to all the left quotes. And hyphens and underscores. Oh, we had that too. Wow. We got it all in this spreadsheet. One 32, and 49 aside. 49, 49. So we're gonna just space all these the same, right? Give our hyphen the same side bearing. Why not? dash? Probably. Who knows? Whoops, not V. Underscore done. Guys, we're flying through these. We'll have to figure out how to space fractions though. Anybody have any idea what kind of sidebrain to add to fractions? No? Okay, me neither. Let's do this section symbol, yeah? And we'll treat it like a capital S also. Was it 41? 43. Whew. I lost it there for a second. 42, 48, yeah. Beautiful. Modern one. 41, 43. Modern with the serif. 42, 48. Great. Oh, look at those. Those are just lovely, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we do have an average for our @ symbol, I think. Yeah, 40, 39. 40, 39. Yeah. And then 42, 45. Wow. Right on the money. What was this one again? 39, 40. And one more. 42, 45. 42. Beautiful. Green 'em. I imagine this one's probably just about the same, right? We just make this 45, 45, and then like 40, 40. Here we go. Beautiful. You don't ever get to see those ones, so it's just these two. We'll just look at our two axes. Wow. It's not bad. It's not bad, chat. I'm pretty pleased. Alright, let's do an ampersand. This crazy ampersand that we've got drawn here. Okay, so we'll do capital O on the left capital T on the right. Yeah? So do 52 and T, where's T? 15? Okay, sure. Then it's 41, 50. Yeah. 41. I don't think it ended up being 50, but well, I guess I could just put these in here, right? Maybe it was. We'll go with it. We'll trust the sheet. It's 2 here and 15. Last one is 41, 50. I guess it looks pretty good. That's not bad. Look at that little ET. Et. We stayed classic here. And we went with we matched up our capital E and our capital T. Basically made a small caps T for that. Turned out pretty nice. I think it turned out great. It doesn't look like the little ampersand that most people used to, but it's got some nice heritage reference. Okay, should we figure out how to space pi? Probably just like it's lowercase, and it's not ready yet. Looks like. Oh, or it is. Just kidding. BRB. Alright, Ronan. We're gonna wait patiently. No, impatiently. On the edge of our seats. It's probably just gotta be like the backside of the M, right? So we did 74, 74, and then 64. Whoops. There we go. What's this one? Oh, we're just all over the place. What's this one? 70. Okay, 70, 70. Should be 61 on both sides. Okay, we're back. We're back. This one is 74 each side. 74, 74. This one is 64. Oh yeah, that feels even down there. Every time we're doing these, we're sort of double checking that bottom line of characters to make sure it has an even rhythm, right? It should like vibrate evenly between the negative space and the positive space. So we like to see it be nice and rhythmic. Alright, so that was pi. Done. We've done all those guys. No idea how to space these either. How to side bear those. Product. Let's see. So we can do the product the same way we just did pi, but with a capital, right? So capital M is A7. A7. Oh, I hate that. Grotesque, it's 65. In modern, it's gonna be 87 and 65 again. 87, 87. Look, we have some crazy things happening with our serifs here. Because our paths must be out of order. See a little switch there? Oh. All sorts of crazy. Okay. Well, I fixed one of them. Aha! Go there, there. So do left foot, right foot, top left serif, crossbar, top right serif, and left foot, right foot. Okay. Still looks crazy. 5, 3. There it is. Make note first. Maybe. Yeah. 5. Perfect. Make node first. There we go. It's easy. It's easy troubleshooting squares. It's not so easy troubleshooting like lowercase a. Guys, I just have no idea what to space these other things at. I have like not a clue. Should we find a typeface to open and see what they're doing? See how they do it? Let's see. Let's Google Drive. Let's look at some fonts. Resources. Fonts. Archer? No. Babus? No. Calibri? No. Chivo? Maybe. Chivo Light? Sure. Open with glyphs. Come on, glyphs. Hello? Chivo Light. Open with glyphs. Oh, there it is. Ah. Alright. Here it is. Chivo Light. I picked Chivo Light because it looks like the same way. Oh, look at their yen with the missing middle bit. That's nice. Wow. Okay. So let's see. On their plus, like 50s. Well, that one's crazy. It's all like 51, 52, mid 50s. Sure. Let's see, do they have a regular? Does a different weight change it much? Let's see. Oh, their pie is lovely. Mine is not that charismatic. Let's see, where's plus? Plus. Nope, same spacing. Alright. we have any number that's close to that? Close to a plus? I guess it's just our hyphen again, huh? 31, 32, maybe the dollar sign. Yeah, I think those are just fine. 50. Grotesque. Not 110. 50. And our hyphen was 32. Let's just do a 50 again. Now, who knows? We'll find out. Let's see, this one, and this one, and this one, that one, this one, that guy. Do all these the same. Say 50, 50. And here, same ones. We'll go 50, 50. And we'll turn them all green. Like super precise up until these bits. Does Chilo have arrows? Yeah, see, now we're getting precise again. It's a lovely little typeface. It has some nice characters in it. Yeah, save it. I don't know why it's open twice though. Seems like something's... Don't save. Who knows? It's got too many windows open now. What is this? Oh, they have a negative space on one side? Oh my goodness. That's 33 to 83 and 100? Not even close to that. Let's just imagine that this takes up a similar visual space to like the capital B, right? Or the E. 50, 51. Just gonna do it 50 again. 50, 50. Go here. 50, 50. And then I think we have to unfortunately go into all of these. Let's do 50, 50. I don't know what the, I thought I did a character. This guy. I think that one was better. Let's copy these ones instead. So the whole '87 on the left, on the right side. Okay, let's try that. Do A7. This one will be 87, yeah? Or so. And then it's, let's write this down somewhere so I can just crank through it. 76, 68, 72, 70. Sure. So let's do that. We'll do 76, 68, 72, and 70. Speed clicks. I don't think I have any super shortcut tricks with glyphs. Like, have to painfully click everything. So I'm more of like really thankful for a magic mouse. Oh, and my, what was it? It should be 87 here, right? 87? Here we go. That's better. Did we do that in the half? No, not quite. A7, yeah, easy. Alright, so we've got those spaces. Let's do the front side bearing. Again, we're doing 76. Oh, 68. I told you entering side bearings would be the data entry stream. Beautiful. Beautiful. A7. Just think, if I was a real type designer, that's what you'd have to do every day. I imagine that they don't spend as much time just inputting numbers, more I imagine they do it visually a lot more than I've done it so far, but it's really overwhelming to me to do it visually to start with. I think I did that early on when we were trying to first space Harvo. Like, typed out a proof worth of characters, and then it's just like you could just spend days and days changing it, and I sort of never knew which one was gonna be, which was the right change, which was the wrong change. It's like you'd change like the left side bearing of one character because it wasn't nice next to another character, but then somewhere else in the proof it was changing really badly. It's like making it worse. It was a nightmare. Alright, what are we doing? 76? Guys, I'm getting hungry. What time is it? 4:45. Oh, we can finish these fractions for show. Foch. And then we'll have to look up some of those other things, some of those other characters. A7? A7. Susie, it's good to have you in chat, cheerleading again. They just say anything. It's like, you can do it. You're the best. So I'm very appreciative. We're doing 72. Always down for the cause. Always down for the typographic cause. There it is. One more. And then we'll assess. We'll reassess. Yes. Harvo will get done. It's getting really, really close. The Roman version of Harvo is getting very close. And then we'll just get to do it all again for the Italic version. Which is great. I think the Italic version will be easy because you can just like duplicate our success here. Just let glyphs work its auto slanting magic. It's not a slant. It's not a slant. It does recalculate those. Am I gonna throw a Harvo party when it's out in the world? Yeah. Tell me what that looks like. What does a Harvo party look like to you? Oh, we did it. Look at all this green. Kerning games. Cupcakes with Harvo letters on them. Yeah, these are good. These are good. Maybe we get candles. You know, like those really bad clunky numbers that you put on little babies' cakes, like 3, 4. It's like one little candle. We get that, only we could have it spell Harvo in Harvo. Harvo. I am making letter molds, so while I'm at it, why not just cast some wax, right? We could make some Harvo candles. Okay. Does anybody know of a typeface that has gender symbols in it? Because I don't know how to space these. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like, maybe that's like a capital P, right? Like 37 on this side. And this guy, oh, what is he like? It's like my arrows, which I also don't know how to do. So that would be like an arrow. And probably just an O, right? A lowercase o. If we're gonna space these. Who knows? Oh, it's so close though. Oh, look how close it is. Just a couple more things to be spaced. And just a couple touch-up characters. And I think he's gonna be done. What are we gonna stream when we're done? Just kidding. I've got tons of ideas. You guys saw it yesterday. Oh, so good. So pleased. Wow, almost 400 glyphs. I pulled up another typeface the other day and was like, oh, there's an H with a crossbar in it, and felt like I needed to add an H with a crossbar. So I had that. And then I decided not to open any other typefaces again, because I just add characters. So I might go back and add some more characters after we've finished all of these ones. We gotta finish all these ones first, and then go back and add new ones, yeah? So we get some other languages in here. I don't know what language support we're gonna need. summation and infinity symbol. We've got percent signs. Got some arrows. Let's see. What did let's look at that code for the numbers. Yes, these numbers. So if I do 0 circled, if I add a character, here I am adding characters. If I add a number, a glyph, and I call it 0 circled, does it recognize that? It does. Well, that's fun. I've done it. I've done it, chat. This is what happens. So let's go here. We'll put it there because it's the right size. And then we'll add a component. And we'll add the 0 denominator. Please fit. Oh, look at that, chat. Oh yeah, we can do this easy. Love it. Okay, let's add these circled letters. I can't not. Should it be bigger? What does it look like with like 8? Oh, 8. I put my 8 in there. Oh yeah, it looks like a dream. Okay. Let's add some of these other ones. Actually, if we copy this, I don't know if it's gonna fit the grotesque. What do the green and red highlights mean? On here, you can just add, like you can make these whatever color you want. So you can come up with any set of system that you want. And so I like color coded these all this light green, so they're like after I finished doing the weight, so make sure the weight of the strokes were consistent, made them that light green, and then after I add space into them, make it the dark green. And then the red is just to like emphasize that I'm not exporting them yet. They have a little bit more work to do. I don't need the red on these ones, but then you can filter, which is nice. I think. Somehow. I think you can filter by color, which is nice. We could have been using this the whole time. I just didn't really know about it. We were just using export to export and not export. Alright, let's see if this is, I don't know if this 0 is going to fit in here. Oh, he's tight. It's like a little eyeball. It does get thicker, doesn't it? It's like an eyeball. We do it like the copyright side and just leave it, huh? Like in this one. We just do it like that. I think that's gonna be an alright circled number. We just have a thin outline around the character, more like the copyright symbol. Where's that bad boy at? Although the copyright is huge. You're back after a go-to meeting, rudely interrupted my stream. Proceed. Okay, well we've waited. We've waited for you. We waited for you to decide this, aka dope. Here we go. We're adding some circled numbers because I love them. I love when there's circled numbers. It's like, as a graphic designer, it's really wonderful to add, right? So here's the question. Here's what's in question. Okay. In something like the gender symbols of this typeface, like the whole weight changes. But if we have this circle in here, it's too fat. It's way too big. Look at that. Oh. So we either could keep it the sort of thin size, or I was looking at the copyright symbol, which has a capital size. Oh. Right, so my circled number would look more like that. It's probably gotta be this, doesn't it? Do you make a circled number the size of your capital letter forms? Or do you make a circled number the size of your X height? That's the question. That's what we waited for. We paused the stream for you to answer that. Capital? That's one vote. Look how cute their arrows are. My thoughts would be, can the circle be cap height? Ah, see? Yeah. It can. So if we do it cap height, it would match the copyright symbol. Well, that would be funny. Look at this one. We have the circle change size too. That's crazy. Getting too crazy. Like that, but then better spacing. What is it? Where's our copyright? 45? Sure. 45, 40. 45, 45. Uh, 40, 40. Yeah, you're probably right. I think, like, thinking about when you would use a circled number, you'd use a circled number like probably at the beginning of a list or in like a table, a fancy table of contents, right? If you're using that in a fancy table of contents, you'd want it to be your cap height, or maybe the character that follows the capital letter or the circled number is capital, right? Not that the 0 looks like anything. Okay. Let's center this and then we'll grind through these characters. Oh. Beautiful. Sure. It looks centered, right? This one does not look centered. So if we do this, we'll close our copyright sign, we'll close all these. AKA dope, I'm glad we waited for you. I'm glad we waited through your meeting for that answer. It's gonna pay off. Duplicate? No, Command D. There it is. 0 circled? No, it needs to be like 1 circled, right? Haha! And then if we add our 1 denominator, we can slap them in here. And make sure he sits in the middle there. And then pop this guy in here. Delete that one. That's all we need. Do we have to copy this layer and do this? Yes, we do. We definitely do. Like that? Yeah? This is gonna be a fun centering game, huh? How's that? Okay, so I think this has got to be as awkward as a place as it is to stop just like square in the middle of adding glyphs. I think it's dinner time. I'm getting hungry. So I'll be back on Thursday. Thursday, I think it's in the later afternoon. It's like 6:30 to 8:30. I think. We'll be back. And I'm probably going to work on Harvo in the meantime so that when I come back we can work on Italics together. Because it feels weird to release a typeface with, like a Roman typeface without Italics. And I don't think it'll take too horribly long. We have to save this as a different file, and we've already drawn some of the like little bits that we need, so we'll be back. But thanks for joining, everybody. Thanks for the good questions. I'm happy to talk through obviously anything that has to do with this process, including a ridiculous spreadsheet or what my letters need to be used for. So we'll be back on Thursday. Draw something, design something while you're away. Yeah? Everybody? Design something amazing or just for fun. And see you all on Thursday, yeah? Cool. Peace out, everybody. Peace. Peace out. Peace. Peace out. Peace. Peace.